Well, now back to our big story. Rules around homelessness are tightening across the country as cities grapple with how to address the growing crisis, one we've watched play out for years on the streets of downtown Portland. But one California city is taking a new and far more strict approach. Last week, the Fremont City Council in the Bay Area voted to ban homeless camping within the city, but they also are targeting those who try and help the homeless.
At first, it made me feel sad and frustrated.
Katie O'Brien runs Rosehaven, a Northwest Portland day shelter and community center for homeless women and families.
I feel bad. I feel bad that people are going to have to think twice before they go to support somebody.
The ordinance in the city of Fremont, California, criminalizes aiding and abetting people who camp on the streets, meaning anyone who helps someone in a homeless encampment, if caught, could be charged with a misdemeanor and face a $1,000 fine, 6 months in jail, or both. If something like that happened here in Portland, it could put Rosehaven at risk, as they help around 150 people each day.
We hand out sleeping bags, tarps, clothing, hygiene products, whatever anybody needs to stabilize.
Like Colette.
So the tents come in handy, because in my situation, I don't know what to do.
She's 60 years old and stays with her dog. In this green tent outside the Southwest Portland apartment building she was just evicted from.
Like, my situation it's not because I want to be out here by any means.
Fremont, the Bay Area city that recently voted to criminalize those who help the homeless, has a total of 615 people, like Colette, living unsheltered, according to a recent point-in-time count.
Like in many California cities, homelessness is one of the biggest problems that people report in Fremont and just throughout the Bay Area in general.
Marisa Kendall is a reporter covering homelessness for Cal Matters, a nonprofit newspaper based in Sacramento that specializes in complex California policies. Marisa watched live the heated 5-hour Fremont City Council meeting when this ordinance was adopted by a 6-1 vote.
On its face, this is a very strict ordinance because it would ban camping everywhere, all throughout the entire city. But that in and of itself isn't that unusual. A lot of cities in California in recent months have passed similar ordinances. Some are equally as strict in that regard. But what was really unique here was the fact that this ordinance also makes it a misdemeanor to conceal, aid, or abet a homeless encampment. So that really had service providers pretty concerned because now they are worried, well, when I do work, going out to an encampment, handing out food and clothing, maybe even tents, helping get people signed up for services, can I be at risk?
It turns out the definition of aid and abet in this situation is not entirely clear.
So from the very beginning, the mayor brought up the aiding and abetting clause and expressed his desire to change it or remove it. Several other city council members expressed the same desire. But then they heard over and over again throughout the meeting from the city attorney, who said the way the ordinance is written, it cannot be used to target outreach workers who hand out food or water or other necessities. He said because the crime in the ordinance is camping or storing personal property in public spaces, you can only be targeted if you aid or abet that specific action.
Despite those assurances from the Fremont city attorney, Marisa says advocates are still worried.
Because the text of the ordinance itself does not specify what aiding and abetting is. It does not specify, that an advocate won't be arrested for giving someone a tent, but will be arrested for helping them set it up, for example.
I think that's wrong. They're just doing what's right for others.
We are helping people survive in an environment that is very, very scary and very difficult to live in right now. And I would say that we aren't enabling, that we are stabilizing people.
This ordinance will go into effect next month, and enforcement is still unclear. Similar to Portland, Fremont officers said they will target the most problematic campsites first. As for enforcing the aiding and abetting piece of the ordinance, Marisa tells me that remains to be decided. but that the city attorney continued to say handing out food and water will not be an offense. Marisa says it's also entirely possible this won't be enforced at all, and there will be no arrests for aiding and abetting, given how limited police resources are. But she says experts she talked with worry that just having that wording on the books could have a chilling effect on aid being provided in camps. And we'll have to wait and see how it plays out and if other West Coast cities follow suit. All right, so what do you think of Fremont's ordinance? Would you want something like that here? Why or why not? Let us know. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail 503-226-5090.